Hello friends, welcome to this SQL tutorial for data analysis and software development for absolute beginners. In this part we are going to discuss about SQL alias. SQL aliases are a temporary name for columns or tables. SQL aliases make column name more readable. An alias only exists for the duration of the query. So we can see some examples here to understand more about alias. What we can do here, so let's take a query here. So in this products table, suppose we have to count the number of products for any given condition or without any condition. So what we can do here is we can write first, we can use the count to calculate the count of products for any given condition. Let's say select count product ID from products where unit price is greater than 20. So this will give us some number of products here that the count is 37. But in this case you can see the answer that we are getting, the name of column that we are getting as an answer is count product ID. And when you are creating applications using server-side scripting languages like PHP or Python, so in that case this name will be a complicated value to handle. So we can give a simple name to this count. So we can write select count as, let's say, number of products. So now the answer will be stored in this stored as is this particular column, or will be given as this particular column, and then we can fetch the answer easily. So as you can see, we now have a temporary name for count operation. So instead of this count function as an answer, we now have our own column name as an answer, and this is work of alias. We have another example also. In this example we will use double quotes or square brackets if the name of alias has some spaces in it. So we can use underscores in place of spaces, but if there are spaces in your alias name, then you can use select contact name as customer name from customers. So first we can go to this customers table to verify the correct name of columns. So it is contact name, so select contact name as customer name from customers. So in this case I am using these double quotes because it was showing an error here, and now you can see that contact name are now presented as customer name. So let's try this same query in MS SQL. So we are inside MS SQL, make sure Northwind database is selected and select contact name as customer name from customer. Execute this query and you can see that this particular as alias will work in MS SQL also and MySQL also. Let's try a square bracket here. So select contact name as customer name from customers, and the alias has a space here. So this particular query will work in MS SQL, but if we'll try it in MySQL, so you will see an error. So you can make a note here that for MS SQL we can either write square bracket or double quotes, and for MS SQL we can write square brackets or double quotes for alias name, but in case of MySQL we have to write double quotes. Next, we can concatenate column values to make a new column value. So suppose in our customers table we have street address, we have postal code, we have city, and we have country, and we want to print the complete address. So we want to concatenate these four columns. So we want to concatenate values of these four columns, and then we want the answer as full address. So this particular query is for MS SQL. In case of MS SQL, while using the alias, and if we want to concatenate the column values, we have to use the plus operator here. Then after plus we are writing another string here, that is comma, because in address, after street address, comma you write the postal code, then comma you write the city, then comma you write the country. You can concatenate in any particular order. So let's see an example, and then it will be more clear to you. So select contact name, address, postal code, city, and country as full address. Now in this case you can see that street address, postal code, city, and country are concatenated, and you can see comma here also. So in place of these strings we can enter anything. For example, if we want to insert hyphen here, so instead of comma, if we want hyphen to concatenate these values, we can write hyphen also. Execute it, and you will see that now we have hyphen in between the names here. We can use space also, but comma is actually the correct choice because we are seeing full address here, and this is how we can concatenate it. So suppose while taking values from a user, we are saving those values in separate columns, but while printing them on our web application or while printing them anywhere on our software, so we use the full address, so that we can send them mails. So their full address will be printed, and we will be able to get the full address, and we'll be able to mail them easily. Now next thing is, this type of concatenation will not work in MySQL. So let's try it in MySQL. So now you can see that we are getting the full address here, but the value that we are getting is not correct, because in case of MySQL a function called concat is used. In this concat function we have to provide parameters here. So it takes arguments separated by comma, and those arguments are actually concatenated. So let's try this query also. So you can see here that select contact name, comma, and then we are concatenating the address, postal code, city, and country, and we are saving it as address. You can save it as full address also if you don't want to write underscore, so you have to use double quotes here. So this query is also correct. So you can try various type of queries, and this is the work of aliases, that this as here you can save the column names as any particular value. You can save the column name of one column as any particular value, or you can save the column name of you can save the concatenated values column name also. So this is how you can write aliases, and in this you can see that we have a street address first, then we have the postal code, then we have the city, and then the country. is in the same order in which we have created them. Suppose we want to get the postal code at after country, so we can cut it from here. So I am writing it once again so that it will be more clear to you. So write concatenate, then write the name of first column, comma, then the value with which you want to separate these values, another comma, then so currently there are two arguments. Then let's say we don't want to separate them with comma, we want to separate them with hyphen. So first value is the name of the column, then hyphen with which we want to concatenate the second value. Second value is, let's say, name of the city. So name of the city will be without inverted commas. Then another string, this hyphen will come, then we have to concatenate it with, let's say, country. So name of country will be here, and then we have to provide concatenation, then the postal code here. So postal code. So this is how you can concatenate various columns to get a bigger column, and you can name that column as anything you want, and this is how you can use alias. So in this example you will see that after address there is hyphen, then there is name of city, then there is name of country, and then postal code. So you can write anything here, you can write comma, you can write hyphen, you can write space, you can write forward slash, anything you can write to concatenate, but the task is to get the full address. You can suppose there is another table here, and so there is this shippers and suppliers. So in this table, in the employees table, we have first name and last name. So what we can do is select concat. We can write select concat first name, then comma, then we have to provide a space here, space, last name as full name. Let's say we want to print it as full name. So first name, last name as full name from employees. Now run this, and you will see that we are getting full names here, full name of employees.